Just double checking. And we are ready to go into winners finals. And we are off. Shady going for the tried and true double fire ribbon, just playing good neutral, going for those knockdowns which are going to be super key against Min Min and neutralizing her Dragon Arm when she gets that. Iceman, we've seen this load up before, we've seen it work super well, that large Dragon Arm Chakram and the Ice Dragon there as backup to make your opponent's approach, to make them try to dash in or jump in, things that Dragon Arm Chakram can catch. We just saw a nice 1-2 there to knock Shady down. Definitely watch how Iceman leads with that Chakram at close range and that Ice Dragon at a far away range. Iceman knows how to play the set. Both players do have that rush now, and Shady is trying to close in a bit more to make that rush work, because with the rush like Shady's there, he's got to lead with the glove, and that only works much better at close range. Iceman going for the rush attempt first here. It's only going to cause chip damage, but with those few hits in there, that's going to be enough. Shady not even going to go for retaliation there. Knows it's too little too late. Just tries to let Iceman take the round early, but Iceman stayed a bit longer to get a little bit more rush. Now Shady does have the rush heading into round 2. But Iceman is going to get that really soon now too. Shady not being able to get out of the way of that Ice Dragon in time, which is why Iceman uses that in this loadout with that Chakram. Those two trajectories overlapping really nicely. Shady going close range there, catching Iceman's jump, knocking down that Ice Dragon and that Chakram. Iceman going in for the close range jump himself to get the 370 rush, and Iceman is going to come out on top overall because he waited on that rush, because Min Min rushed second and gets to charge up that Dragon Arm. That Dragon Arm Chakram at that close range is going to be so threatening, and Iceman takes game 1 with 2 rounds here. So that victory goes to Iceman there. Sparring and Via will be the bans. You know how Iceman needs the room to move around. And Shady does go for Scrapyard here. We are seeing Scrapyard a lot more than we usually do, which is odd. And we are going to be seeing Shady, never mind, Shady wasn't Twintel before, Shady was Ribbon, sorry. We're going to be seeing Shady stay on Ribbon, and going to be staying on the set, neither player making any drastic changes. Shady is going to go for the double gloves here, instead of that tri-bolt. That tri-bolt is not going to punch through the Chakram all too easily. Tries to get into close range to get those 1-2 punches. One of the punches knocking down the Chakram, the other knocking down the Min. But that Chakram is just doing a lot of work catching Shady's side dashes. Iceman gets another grab in there, puts Shedy into rush range, but is probably going to be saving that rush for round 2. Shedy almost having the rush of his own, just trying to get that charged up in time. There's another 1-2, and that will give Iceman the round. I'm telling you, that Charge Chakram is so good at close range, and that Ice Dragon is so good at far range, and the way Iceman just alternates between the two playstyles of like kind of catching close range and catching far range movement is fairly nice to look at. Iceman does get the knockdown here and gets a nice freeze. Shedy does not react to the grab in time and will be taking that. Shedy, I was afraid Shedy was going to get hit by the Chakram there around the edge, but does manage to get the Glove Rush connection in time. We'll get a 1-2 off of Iceman's Dragon Charge attempt here, and that is going to get knocked down. Iceman does still have the rush. Iceman is looking for the rush opportunity. It's going to hit super fast with that Chakram, with that Flurry Rush, and it is going to give Iceman the opportunity to get that Dragon Arm again. And that is going to give Iceman the 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Same bands for Iceman, and Shedy is going to be running it back to round 1, Temple Grounds. Just catching up on the rest of the bracket, it does seem like Yam has taken the 2-0 over Kosalina. Kosalina with a very good winners run in this. Rifa and Yeta are still playing, and of course, I mean, we have Shedy and Iceman playing right now. So Iceman has gotten a bunch more hits in early, has switched against that Sparky in response to Shady's switch to Twintel. And Shady's Twintel set with the Chakram and the Toaster. A bit better at catching out this set of Iceman, but it is not going to be good in that situation. I apologize, I spaced out. But yeah, Shedy is gonna go for the double toasters here, actually, just to get that punch power. Iceman, that was a fairly good switch to the Sparky there, and in theory, is gonna just pressure Shedy so much here. Shedy using that rush to knock down Iceman, and is going to be trying to use this disadvantage phase of Min to get as much damage as possible, but that is a shock, that is a dragon hit, that is a knockdown, and Iceman has the advantage again, having the rush. Shedy almost having the rush built up, but I mean, yeah. Now Shedy does have the rush and immediately chooses to spend it, not getting the connection with the early glove rush. Iceman counter rushing in response, and that gets shielded, and the shield gets broken. So Iceman still remaining in the advantage position overall, getting a nice hit in afterwards too. But Shedy has managed to knock that down, but that is one nice grab. Jumping over Shedy's grab and grabbing in return to take the winners finals 3-0 in a very dominating fashion here.